Hey, this is a quick video on the Orderflows Deltascalper. Learn how understanding order flow delta can help you find better trades with low risk. First, I'll read a quick disclaimer. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, so first up is a bond chart. It's a 4-range chart, and the Deltascalper kicked in here at 940 just after this high. I'll say this high, the swing high. We rallied up here, and Deltascalper is kicking in. We came off. Then a buy signal kicked in here up to the sell signal. It's nice that when you get ratios around the Deltascalper kicking in. So you got a buy here, a sell here, followed by another buy here. There's a short-lived buy. You just sort of went sideways the rest of the afternoon, sideways to higher. Okay, on an E-mini chart, this is an E-mini 10-range chart. There's a signal that just kicked in around 5:45 this morning, the buy signal. It was just right off the low of the day. And, the market just, it rallied. It was a big day up. Yesterday it rallied from 2008. It was never really ever against you. It just spent the rest of the day trading higher. All the way up to 2026 when you get a sell signal on the scalper. It didn't work. We took out the high. The high was here, but we took out the high of this bar where the scalper kicked in. But still, so you have to have a stop, right? So you get stopped out somewhere up there. But what's it just shows you the power of it. It's getting you in down here right off the low, all the way up to nearly the high of the day. That's almost so was that almost nearly a 20-point move. And we ended up, going higher, but, nevertheless, this one failed. And that was it for the day on a 10 range. Okay, now, we'll take it on a sort of a smaller time frame. This is a E-mini 5-range chart. And, there was a sell signal here. It didn't work out. We sort of took out the highs. Or sorry, I'll say the highs. We took out, the high of the bar. So, if you ever stop some up here, you're getting stopped out. But you're waiting for the next signal. Here you get one just, just after 8, at, roughly around the 2014 level. We traded up to 19. We sort of came back down to this level, hung around, went sideways. Eventually started rallying again. Just looking where it kicked off. There's another buy signal here. This is just before 12:30, around the 2028 level. And, the market just, never really turned, never came back. And we just, went all the way up, almost a 8-point move. So it was nice, even on the short-term chart. Okay, so, what if you're not interested in looking at an order flow chart? It can run on a normal bar chart. And, here's your signals. This morning, just before 7, this is a 5-minute S&P chart. It's giving you a signal here. Yeah, it went down, but then it just sort of met another signal, pop up, so you get another signal, came off. Yeah, I don't know, if you're getting short, at around the 12 level down to, 09. Got down to 09, it's like 9 1/4. But, it's a scalper, right? I don't know how long you want to hold your trades for. It's up to you. But if you're having stops up here, you can have very tight stops, just behind this, these areas. Here's one. We came off, even in the next bar, getting short here somewhere in the next bar. It's kicking off, these nice, these nice bars where they're coming off. Now here's one, kicked off a nice signal. Again, this is on a 1-minute chart just after 9. It's giving you a signal. You got plenty of a chance to get in around, the 15 level, more or less. You take a little bit of heat down to, was at 13 3/4, 13 1/2, before it turns around and rallies, 10 points, up to 24. Yeah, this one, it failed. They don't always, work. Here's a small little winner. Here's one just sort of once, came down. It probably would have stopped you out. I'm not going to say, oh, you got to have a 2-point stop below this or whatever, but, I like to keep my stops tighter. Here's another one that came off, 3 points, 2 or 3 points, but it's going into the close. It's around the cash close at this point. So I'm not usually looking to trade around that time, but still, it's catching some of the nice moves and even some of the smaller intraday moves. I mean, this was a beautiful move if you could have got in on it. Okay, so this is a 1 minute S&P chart. I'll say it's more difficult on, when you drill down to like minute charts, but it's a function of volume. So when you're going down to minute charts, there's less volume trading, so it may not be as effective. I mean, it's still effective because what you're looking for is massive increases in delta and surges in volume. But trading on a very short term chart, like a minute or less, there's a fine line to it. It could either be very successful or it could be very, a lot of trades getting stopped out. So, but I just want to show you. Okay, so this is a 1 minute S&P chart. We're going up. It's kicking off a signal here. I mean, lots of times on a 1 minute chart, you can get a big order hit in the market, which can oftentimes distort it. What you want to look for is you want to look for the shift, between supply and demand, not necessarily one big order coming into the market. Because sometimes, big orders will come into the market, for whatever reason. It could be part of an arb trade. It could be someone just getting out of a position. But when you're dealing with deltas, you want to be looking for shifts in supply and demand, and sometimes it takes a little bit more than 1 minute. But that said, let's just take a look at how it performed on a 1 minute chart today. This is March 17. Okay, here it didn't work out. Here another one didn't work out. You gotta have a tight stop. You should have, on 1 minute charts. You gotta have a realistic stop. You shouldn't be having stops, 3 or 4 points away. It should be fairly tight. And, if the trade's not working out for a few minutes, you should be looking to get out. It's another story if the trade starts going in your favor, then you could sort of, try and ride it. But if it's not working out pretty quick on a short-term chart, chances are it's not going to work out. Whether you're trading with Deltascalper or you're trading with any other thing, when you have a very short-term time frame, you should be looking to, if it's not going in your favor initially, chances are it's not going to go in your favor, no matter what method you're trading on a very short term. People that are in and out of the market scalping, they're not, holding a position for 20 minutes. That's never been in their favor. If it's not in their favor initially, you get out. So, here within 2 minutes is against you. Here within the next bar already it's against you. Now here it's a little bit different. It's in your favor, so you can probably hold it a little bit more, try and get more out of it. It starts coming back up. Depending on how you work your stop, trail your stop. It can go against. It could work in your favor. It could work against you, depending on how you like to move your stop. Here's one. It was a buy signal, but then it was met immediately with a sell signal. It just went sideways. Like I said, it's difficult sometimes with 1 minute charts because you could just get, certain times you get big orders hitting the market, which can honestly distort it, but make the readings a little bit more difficult. But anyway, let's just keep a look on. Okay, so now you're starting to get a lot of signals sort of bunched together, which is nice. But then you get a buy signal here. I mean, it didn't really go anywhere. You're not talking a lot of points. You're talking, maybe a point against you, or a point. But here's a buy signal, sort of on the back of all these sell signals. And now we're starting to move. It says one, it really goes, it sort of jumps in your favor. What is it? It's a tick against you, for the first few minutes. Like I said, you gotta make the decision, if it's ticking down against you or around break even on you. Do you want to hold it or not? Like in this case, yeah, it shot up quite nicely. Again, it's a 1 minute chart, and I don't necessarily a big fan of trading 1 minute charts, just because, like I said, it could take a few minutes for a big order to work its way through, and you don't necessarily always have the volume that you'd like to see on a 1 minute chart. You could have periods of illiquidity, but as you're looking at a range chart, or you're looking at a even a 5 minute chart, you're getting more volume in there to sort of smooth it out. I hate to say that, smooth it out, but you're getting more volume coming into the bar to make the reading more accurate. It's like, you're going to do, presidential election going on right now, you know, they do the polls of candidates, and they say, oh, you know, 80% of women don't like Donald Trump. But then you look at the sample size, it's like, you know, we asked 100 women. Okay, well, you asked 100 women. Why don't you ask, you know, 10,000 women, you know, to get a better idea? So if you're like trying to read, you know, volume on a bar chart, you know, what do you think you have a better sample? You know, when you're sampling, you know, volume of 100 lots or volume of 1,000. I like to think you're going to have better results when you're sampling 1,000. But that said, let's take a look again. It's now times it's around lunchtime. Yeah, you got a couple buys. You know, this one didn't work out. This one, yeah, it kind of worked out a couple ticks, but it wasn't going much. You know, you got a couple sells here. You know, right as the market started to come off a bit. You know, I don't know what that is, about 3 points. Another buy signal here. You know, met up here by this sell signal. A couple sell signals didn't work out. Times it now 130. You know, you started getting back in there. Yeah, there's some work, some don't. You know, I said it's one of those things where, you know, I don't know. I just find on a 1 minute chart, it's a bit tougher. Okay, so the last chart I'm going to look at here is it's a 5-year note, 4-range chart, and you know, get a signal here right at 8:30. Didn't work out. Started to go up, but it didn't work out. But then about a half hour later, you get another signal down here right on the low, and you know, the market did pop up. You know, how many ticks is that? You know, from 05 up to 07. It's 2 points. You know, 8 ticks, which is okay. I mean, it's a 5 years. 5 years move a bit slower. You have a sell signal up here. Again, it's you know, from about 6.5 down to 4.5. Again, that's 8 ticks. Did rally back up into that area, then just, you know, came back down again and just sort of went sideways. You know, it's one of those, you know, talking about volume. You know, is it nicer to see it on, you know, markets that have more volume? Probably. I think so. I think, you know, when really what you're looking for is the shifts in supply and demand. For when they're going to be happening. That's when you want to trade. So, you know, thanks for watching this video. To learn more about the Orderflows Deltascalper, visit my website, www.orderflows.com. You'll see a lot written about it on there. It's, you know, it's not part of my main Orderflows software package. It's sort of an add-on. I said, you know, it can run on any type of chart. So, you know, I said it doesn't necessarily have to be on an Orderflows, you know, on a volume footprint chart. You know, you got any questions, you know, just shoot me an email. My contact information is on the site. And, you know, again, thanks for watching.